You know, when you use one of those really slick AI apps, have you ever just stopped and thought, how does this even work? Is it magic? Well, you're definitely not alone. But here's the thing. Behind all that AI magic, there's always a developer. And every developer has a toolkit. So today, let's open up that toolbox and see what's inside.
All right, let's get right into it. We're going to tackle the big question that I think a lot of us have. How are these incredible AI applications actually being built? You know, what are the real nuts and bolts behind the scenes?
And the answer, honestly, is pretty straightforward. It's not some kind of dark art or secret spell. It's a suite of really specialized, interconnected tools that are all designed to build, manage, and fine-tune AI. So let's break down the most important ones, one by one.
First up is the absolute foundation of the whole thing, a tool called LangChain. The best way to think about this is like it's the chassis of a car. It's the frame everything else gets built on.
So what's it actually do? Well, LangChain is basically the glue. It's the essential connective tissue. It's what takes a large language model from just being a text-in, text-out chatbot into an application that can actually do things in the real world by connecting it to outside info, different tools, and data. I mean, think about it. Without LangChain, an AI is kind of like a brain in a jar, right? It's brilliant, it can think, but it can't act. LangChain is what gives it hands and feet. It builds the core logic that lets it go search something or query a database or call another program. This ability to chain actions together is the fundamental bridge that makes an AI useful.
Okay, but just a simple, straight line of actions can only get you so far. What happens when your AI needs to think, maybe reconsider its options, and even work with other AIs on a single task? That's where we build on top of our foundation, with LangGraph.
LangGraph really takes things up a notch. It lets you build these stateful applications where the AI can loop back on tasks, make decisions that go down different paths, or even have multiple AI agents working together, passing information back and forth to crack a complex problem.
And this is a total game changer. With LangGraph, you can build what are called agentic workflows. So imagine one AI agent is your researcher, another is a writer, and a third is an editor. They can all collaborate and pass a report back and forth until it's perfect. This is for those times when a simple if this, then that logic just isn't going to cut it.
So it's really important to get this straight. You don't pick between LangChain and LangGraph. You always start with LangChain. That's your foundation. Then, when you need that more complex, looping, multi-agent behavior, you enhance it with LangGraph. One is the core, and the other is the advanced brainpower you layer right on top.
Okay, so we've got the basic logic and the complex workflows covered. But how do you design all this stuff without getting totally lost in endless lines of code? Well, that's where our third tool comes into the picture, LangFlow.
This is the architect's drawing board. LangFlow gives developers a visual drag-and-drop interface. So instead of just writing code, you can literally map out how your AI application is going to work, connecting different models, prompts, and tools just like you're playing with building blocks. And this is all about speed and just making things make sense. It makes the whole iteration cycle so much shorter. You can sketch out an idea, see how the logic flows, and test your concepts visually in minutes, not days. It just makes the whole design process way faster and, frankly, a lot more fun for the developer.
So, you've designed your app in LangFlow. You've built it with LangChain and maybe some LangGraph. It's up and running. But is it actually working the way you want it to? How do you really know? You need a control panel, a diagnostic screen, and that is LangSmith.
LangSmith is your mission control. For the longest time, complex AI apps have been a total black box. You put something in, something comes out, and you just kind of hope for the best. LangSmith completely changes that. It gives you a real-time window inside the machine, letting you trace every single step, debug any problems, and check its performance, cost, everything.
This really shows that just building the AI is only half the battle. Because these systems can be so unpredictable, trying to maintain them without the right tools is like flying blind. LangSmith pops the hood open so you can see exactly what the engine is doing, find the source of any weird outputs, and tune it up for peak performance.
All right, now let's zoom out for a second and see how all four of these very different tools come together to create one single, incredibly powerful development stack.
And here it is. This is the complete modern workflow for building AI. You start with a visual prototype in LangFlow. Then you build its core logic with LangChain. You can then enhance it with that complex agentic behavior using LangGraph.
And finally, you monitor, debug, and perfect it for the real world with LangSmith.
See, each tool has its own clear job to do, and when you put them all together, they give you this structured path for engineering real, production-grade AI. It's how you take something from just an idea on a visual canvas to a robust, intelligent, and completely observable application.
So, the next time you see a seriously powerful AI, you'll know. It's not magic, it's the product of this incredible toolkit. And that really just leaves us with one final exciting question. Now that we know what the tools are, what amazing things are developers going to build with them next?